In this class we're going to make a spring flower wreath. Now, not all of the flowers are technically spring flowers, but it certainly has a spring look about it. So to make the spring flower wreath, you're going to need the flower wreath kit, some PVA glue. It really would help to have a hot glue gun for this task, and some scissors. So in your kit you've got a roughly 5-inch wreath. You need to put that to one side for now. You've got 2 pieces of ribbon, some velvet ribbon and some organza ribbon. Again, put these to one side for now. And the bit that we're going to work on first are the flowers and leaves for the wreath, which are all in this bag. Just be careful when you open it. They are very tiny, some of these pieces, and really easy to lose. The first thing you want to do when you open your bag is to sort your flowers into the ones that are going to go together. So you have 2 of these. These are going to make a little flower like this. You have 2 daffodils, which is going to make a little daffodil like this. And you have 2 of these, which is going to make this sort of aconite type flower. You've then got some extra leaves. You've got some sort of space filler flowers that are smaller, and you've got these purple with the daisy centers, which are going to go together with these delicate leaves. Okay. For now, we're going to work on each of these flowers that we need to build up. So we're going to put these to one side safely so that we've got them when we need them. So to make these flowers, all we need to do is we need to roll this paper up, starting from this end here. Now you can just do this with your finger, or you might find it helpful to sort of roll it around a cocktail stick or the middle of a skewer. So we're going to roll all the way. Okay, so when we get to the end, this piece at the bottom is going to go onto the bottom of the flower. But if you keep it rolled up very tight, you're going to get a very tiny flower. What I would allow it to do is allow it to just unroll a little bit, just to make a slightly bigger flower like that, okay? Once you've done that, you want to add some PVA glue to the bottom of the flower. And then glue the sort of round part of the end of the strip onto the bottom like that. And just hold it just for a minute or two, just while it sets in place. If you do that with both of your coils, you're going to have 2 of these flowers. Okay, to make each daffodil, you need 2 of these 3-petal clusters, and 1 of these, which makes the trumpet in the middle, and then 1 of these, which makes the stamen. To start with, we're going to work on these outer petals, and what we need to do is, it has a tiny tab here. This needs to be glued just on there like that. For this, I'm going to use just a tiny touch of PVA glue, and then it is a matter of gluing them together and just holding for a moment between your thumb and your finger until that sets enough to be on its own. Then we do the same with the other one. Tiny touch of glue, and then hold it for a moment. These are very fiddly to make, but I think they're so worth it. Okay, once you've made both of those, what you want to do is put some glue on one of them, on the point, and then nestle one inside the other, offsetting the petals like that, and then just set that aside to start to dry while you work on the trumpet. So for this, again, you have a tab. This is the tab here. That's the bit we're going to glue, and we're going to glue that on the inside around like this. It helps to just curl it first before you try and glue it. Just sort of curl it and roll it up a little bit to get that sort of trumpet shape. Once you've got that trumpet shape, put a little bit of glue on that tab, and again glue it and hold it for a minute or two. Now while you're holding it, you'll notice at the bottom there's some more tabs. You just want to push those in, just try and sort of create a flat bottom to the trumpet like that. And once the trumpet's glued, pop some PVA on the bottom of the trumpet like that, and then you're going to add that to the center of your daffodil like that. And finally, for the stamens, we're going to roll these up. You can use a cocktail stick or something to get you started. You're just going to roll it. I find it useful to sort of roll it between my sort of thumb and finger, like this. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a blob of glue on the end, and I'm going to pop that into the middle of the trumpet. And there is my finished daffodil. Once you've done two of those, it's going to look like that. For the aconites, these are the same as the pink flowers, so we're going to roll these up starting at the outer end. A bit like the pink flower, once we've gone all the way around, we're going to just allow it to open a little bit, and then we're going to put some glue on the bottom and just close that over and just hold that while that glues. For the outer part of the flower, you want to take a teaspoon and putting the tip of the teaspoon underneath the card and your thumb on top, drag the teaspoon along to curl each petal. Once you've done that, a blob of glue in the center and add in your flower center that you've rolled up. And then these are ready to go onto your wreath. To make these flowers, all I did was take one of the purple flowers and just curl up the petals a little bit, make it a little bit more three-dimensional. Then if you take one of the daisy centers, there are two larger centers and one smaller center, and just fold all of the petals and then roll it very gently, almost like a closed up daisy. And then what you're going to do is just put a dab of glue on the very end and put it in the centre of the flower. Then take one of these delicate leaves, a little bit of PVA glue, and stick that behind that flower. So then you have 3 of those to stick onto your wreath. So now I have a full collection of flowers to go on my wreath, including some of these ones where I've just sort of crumpled them up a little bit to give them a little bit more 3-dimension. And now what you want to do is, if you've got one, you want to plug in your hot glue gun, because this will be a lot quicker if you glue this on using a hot glue gun. If you don't have a hot glue gun, you can use PVA glue, but you will need to spend a lot of time letting things dry in between. But PVA will glue all of these on to the wreath.